Hi, I'm John, and I make dumb videos in the basement of my house. Wow. Don't buy one of these. That's what I'm going to say right from the start. Don't buy one of these. This is a Chibson Ace Frehley model. And I bought this 12 years ago, late at night. Wife was out of town. I was bored, left to my own resources, and needed an electric guitar. Went perusing on the internets, and in my uneducated naivety, whatever, I was naive. I bought this because I thought, wow, man, it says Gibson on the headstock, and it's the Ace Frehley Les Paul, which honestly, I never really cared for the stupid lightning bolts and whatever, but I thought the Budokan reissue I thought was much better. So anyway, I picked this up, $300, and it arrived, and nope. I said this in a different video where I was talking about how many guitars do you have, and I will restate this. Do not ever worry about what somebody thinks about what's written on the headstock of a guitar. And unfortunately, at that point in time, I fell into that where it's like, well, it's got to say Gibson, but I can't afford a Gibson, but I want a Gibson. I want a Gibson. I got to have a Gibson. And I love Ace Frehley. Duh. I got a whole thing. I'll try and insert a picture of my little... I've got a couple different areas with stuff with Ace Frehley collectibles. This hangs on the wall in the midst of that, and I'll see if my editing software, which is really simple, if it'll allow me to interject a picture. And if I can, we'll put it in there. But this thing's a piece of crap. It's a maple body, so it is heavy. It is a boat anchor. It's got a mahogany neck, scarf joint, which that part really doesn't bother me. But it's all fake. And realistically, if you buy a Chibson, all you are doing is contributing to an underground economy that thrives off of intellectual thievery. And it's what it is. And I'm guilty of falling into it. And I can never sell this. Not that I would want to. It's art at this point. I don't care. It's art. But the system you are supporting makes a habit of stealing the intellectual properties and anything it can from decent people. And I'm not saying that all the people at Gibson are decent people, but you know what? This is stealing. It's the same as walking into a store and stealing something, because you're stealing the intellectual property of Gibson, which, whether you agree with Gibson or you don't, I don't care. It's still their intellectual property. It would be the same as if you decided to take my music and just use it as your own thing without my permission. It doesn't matter what you would think about me or what I've created. If you steal it from me, that's all it is stealing. And buying something like this is stealing. And as I'm saying that, I got fingers pointed right back at me. I didn't understand that concept when I bought this, but I do now. And honestly, a couple different things. You can do so much better with $300. Harley Benton, which I own 3 of them now, for $300, you can get a great guitar, throw some money into it, and go from there. So I will tell you what I did with this guitar. Just because I wanted to make it playable, but I wasn't playing in a band. I just did stuff to it because I like to tinker with it. I put a Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge, which used to be my go-to pickup, and not anymore. It's too hot, and it's fine if you like doing metal, you like doing a lot of lead stuff, but there's so many other better pickups in my opinion. So I did that. I think the pots have been upgraded, and I don't know if the switch got upgraded or not, and I know the nut is changed out. And one thing that I did is I don't like brown fretboards, at least on Gibson styled products. So I tried to dye it, and the wood dye would not take. So I took a Sharpie or a black magic mark, whatever it is, and I just colored that in black to make it look more black. And like I said, it's wall art. I don't care. I'm not playing this thing out. I mean, if I ever got in an emergency where all my other guitars failed and I needed to take this and play with this, okay, but I would certainly not like myself in the morning. But yeah, I just can't say it enough. Don't worry about what other people think about what's on the headstock of your guitar, because at the end of the day, those people are not worth impressing. They're just not. And once I hit that realization, who's the financial guy? Dave Ramsey. He says you will reach financial maturity when you realize that it doesn't matter what other people think of your car. And that's the truth. You know, I'd love to drive a Cadillac. I think it would be cool. They've got all the bells and whistles, and they're comfortable, and it's kind of a status symbol. But at the end of the day, I don't need a Cadillac, and I don't need a Chibson, and I don't need a guitar to say something on the headstock for it to do its job for me. So all that said, I'm just going to riff on it a little bit. I even feel dirty playing it, but so especially doesn't help. I don't like the pickup. I'm so over the JB. It's just so metal. I mean, I love metal. I still listen to Megadeth at least once a week, and Megadeth is my favorite metal band, if not one of my top 5 bands, maybe my top 2. I do love metal, but it's not the style that I play anymore. I love to riff down on it once in a while, but I don't need it as permanent. So it's a lot of talking. That's a lot hotter than I'm used to, man. Yeah, something not right up there. Yeah, that's a lot different than what I'm normally used to. Oop. Don't buy one. That's all I gotta say. That's all I got. Bam.